All right, we're really excited to be joined this week by head coach Willie Fritz of the Houston Cougars. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Now, obviously, no small award this week. The Pop-Tarts Crazy Good Team of the Week award for the team's win over Arizona State over the weekend. First ranked win for the team since 2017 on the road. What was the difference maker for your team Saturday in Tempe, and what's it mean to earn a win in a tough road environment like that?
We played well in all three phases. Offensively, we were able to run and throw the ball effectively. Defensively, we played extremely well the first three quarters, didn't give up any big plays. That was something they'd done, quite frequently the games before us. And then special teams, we really made them go the long field. We have a stat that we do every week called hidden yards. And I think our average starting field position was the 36-yard line. Theirs was the 18-yard line. And when you do that, you multiply that over 12 series, it's like 216 yards of hidden yardage. So we did a good job in the kicking game as well. And we had to in order to beat a quality team like Arizona State.
Yeah, the hidden yards thing is interesting. Has that always been a part of your coaching playbook over the years?
We have what we call the plan to win, and the third part of the plan to win is win the special teams, and we always count up hidden yards where our starting field position was, where the opponent was, and that encompasses offense and defense as well. But the big part of it is the kicking game.
That's awesome. I did want to ask you, a lot of emotion around Coach Hester's passing. I know that you're wearing black this weekend against West Virginia in his honor. I was hoping, could you just speak a little bit to the impact he left on you, your program, your players during his time there?
Well, I did an outstanding job. He was with me in my previous institution as well, and he was really the first guy that I hired when I was offered the job here at the University of Houston. The strength coach is so important to your program. They're around those kids more than really anybody else. And he just, did a great job with messaging our student athletes, is what's important and maybe things that aren't important. Tremendous amount of energy, but really his legacies to us, I think, is how he dealt with this hand he was dealt. He just did a fantastic job coming to work almost every single day. He's had stage 4 cancer since February, and just battle it and battle it and battle it and just handle it just incredibly well. And our thoughts and prayers are with him, his family, and they've also done a great job of handling everything. And he's going to be missed.
Absolutely. Is there something you've heard consistently from your players that has been a takeaway or something that's stuck with them from the time they've spent around him?
Oh, I just think, he would, bring guys in when he'd see someone was maybe having an issue or a problem, or, wasn't quite doing what he was supposed to do. And, maybe something's going on off the field. He'd bring him in and talk to him. But, something that is so neat about the guy is Thursday he came up and it was our workout for the whole team. And I think he knew that, the end was near, and he stayed for the whole workout. And then he talked to the guys just, about being a good husband and father and person. I think that was kind of his last message that he wanted to give the team. And a lot of the kids talked about how important that his last speech was to them.
Gosh, yeah, that's really touching. I appreciate you sharing that. As your team, you're off to a 7-1 start, and you've got a lot to play for, certainly just for football reasons and off the field reasons. Where do you kind of assess where your program's at, and with about a quarter of the season or a third of the season left to play?
Well, we've done a good job up to this point. I think we're getting better. You want to, the big games are played in November, and you want to, get keep it ascending and getting better, week after week. And that's one of our goals that we talk about all the time. And that's offense, defense, kicking game, scout team, lifting weights, whatever it might be. And the guys have embraced that and are doing a good job, working hard every day. I don't have to, beg them to practice hard. Those guys understand our expectations. They do a good job of coming out and practicing hard every day.
Yeah, your team's ranked in the top 25 this week, first time since 2022, I believe, and one of five Big 12 teams in the top 25 now. What does that say about, do you think, the strength of your conference and the strength of your program?
Well, I just think it's a really good conference. I know everybody says that about their conference, but everybody's pretty good. I've been in some other conferences where, maybe you didn't play your best game, you're still able to win. It's not the case in the Big 12. I found that out last year. If you don't play your best, you're going to get beat because a lot of good coaches and a lot of good players, a lot of good teams in the Big 12.
We talked about road environments earlier. I know you pay a visit to Orlando here in another couple of weeks. You got West Virginia first, of course, but as you look ahead to these next couple of weeks, what do you like about the way your team's playing, and what do you expect to be bringing to the field this weekend?
Oh, it's Coach Rich Rod does a really nice job, and he's been at the forefront of offensive football his whole career. I know him a little bit because he was the offensive coordinator when Tulane had that great run in '98 with Coach Bowden, and people are still talking about Coach Rich Rod 20 years later when I came in and was the head coach there at Tulane. So he does a good job running the ball. They've actually been throwing the ball with effectiveness as well. Have been in some really tight ball games that haven't quite gone their way. Uh, we're going to have to play great this weekend. It's just, like I said before, everybody in the Big 12 is capable of beating you. I know they had that big win over Pittsburgh early in the year, so we're just trying to improve every week, and that's what we got to do in order to be successful against the Mountaineers.
And have you had any early impression of the work Scott Frost has done with UCF this season, and kind of the way he's got his team playing as you look 2 weeks down the road to that game?
I haven't really, I'm going to give you the
Yeah.
coach answer. I haven't really looked at him very much. The only time I've looked at him is when they played West Virginia a couple of weeks ago and played really well. I'll tell you something, though, I do appreciate from Coach Frost. He sent our staff some flowers and a nice note, called me when he found out about Coach Hester and his first class by Scott.
Absolutely. I'll leave you with this. Obviously, as part of the Pop-Tarts Crazy Good Team of the Week award, you receive a rather large shipment of Pop-Tarts. I don't know if they've arrived at the campus or not yet.
Another
I know
yet?
we got requests for strawberry
Yeah,
too.
Fletcher, our assistant AD in charge of media relations, he's got them in his office. I think he's ate all of them.
Probably.
Is that right, Fletcher?
I'm a big Pop-Tarts guy.
He's going to bring them
Look,
over. So
is it-
we'll
do
be
you
doing
have a favorite flavor, a preferred way to eat them? Any Pop-Tarts history?
just a cherry. I like cherry Pop Tarts. Our kids, my children, they all really liked Pop Tarts. So I try to take them to school. I usually go to work and then I come back. I was in some small towns when they were growing up, and we'd all grab a Pop Tart and head out of the car and drive to school.
That sounds like my drive to school almost every day when I was growing up. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. We were very generous of you to join us. Congratulations on the win, on the recognition from the Football Writers Association, and good luck this week against West Virginia.
Well, we appreciate the award. Thank you very much. And go Cougs.
We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Coach.